What's up, guys? So, you always hear about prosperity spells in the pagan community, but today we're not going to do that. So, if you read the Orphic hymns and the Homeric hymns, you see the end of the prayer usually ends with bless us with health and prosperity. And so that inspired me to create a video for you guys that needs prosperity in your life, whether that be a new job, a promotion, health prosperity, whatever you may need. I wanted to make a video addressing that today because we always read it. It says, bless us with health and great prosperity. And again, this is not about spell work and magic. This is about prayers and thankfulness to the gods. And so I will show you how I pray for situations that are similar. If there is a possible job promotion or if great opportunities come up, the kind of prayer you can do. And again, this is the fancier version of if you can afford it. If you can't afford what I'm going to tell you, then prayers from the heart and even a small candle from Walmart is great, and a glass of water. But if you are able to give the gods a little more, that is what we're going to talk about today. Again, it's not a necessity, but it is another option for you in what I do and how I pray for prosperity. Because like I said, we see it, so let's pray for it, guys. So also a disclaimer is that if you pray for prosperity and it just doesn't happen, that doesn't mean the gods haven't heard you or they don't care or X, Y, and Z. It just means that life happens. So no blame to the gods for anything that happens, no ill will, but you can still pray and ask for their guidance and help during certain situations. So the first thing I want to talk about is incense, the kind of incense that I like to give to the gods when it comes to a prayer on prosperity. So there are three gods that I pray to, the first being Estia, obviously. And the incense that I like to give to Estia for my first prayers daily, not just for prosperity prayers, is not the brand name necessarily, but lavender incense. They always say aromax for Estia, and somewhere I've actually read that to give her lavender, and that's where I started giving her lavender, and it's always been something as an offering to her, and she's always seemed to accept it. Because they always say that you get that peaceful feeling, and you know for 100% fact that the gods like it. So yeah, lavender incense by him, the brand name, him. If you have to choose him. I'm just kidding, but that's the brand I like. I love this, and you're going to see that on all the boxes. So a prayer to Estia. What prayer? We'll go over that after we talk about this. So when it comes to Hermes, it is frankincense, incense. No surprise what brand it is, but I love cone incense. Again, it's whatever kind of incense you want to use, but I always use cone incense. And then finally, for Zeus, it is not frankincense, but the Orphic hymn says storax is recommended. Now, if you don't have storax incense, which I don't, again, in the past I've read, storax is basically a really earthy scent. So with that said, you can get earthy scent, patchouli, maybe, I don't know. I haven't used patchouli, but I know it's super earthy smelling. But then on the flip side, you have those that say that that's probably more of your underworld deities. Probably take that. So what I do either way is I would use and substitute musk incense for a storax substitute. And candles. I have tea light candles as well. So those are the incenses I use when I pray for prosperity for my situation. It would be, again, tea light candles. Right now I have a glass candle that I always use for Estia, and then a tea light candle for Hermes, and then candles for Zeus. And again, the incenses as well. So now let's talk about the ritual. So the ritual itself, you start off with a prayer to Estia, and I will share that prayer with you now. Estia, queen and daughter of Almighty Kronos, you hold the center of the home, its eternal and greatest fire, and may you consecrate these initiates and the holy rituals, and make them thrive forever, blessed, cheerful, and holy. Home of the blessed gods, the strong foundation of mortals, eternal, many-shaped, loved, and green as grass, smiling, blessed one, take these offerings willingly, and breathe forth wealthy bliss and health with your soothing hands. So once that prayer is complete, I sit there and meditate on the goddess and thank her for home and family. Thank her for everything good that's been in life. And I sit there and I give a minute and just, again, worship and thank her. As in with hands raised, just saying thank you for all this. The next prayer goes to Hermes, and I light the incense to him. So before I go there, what I like to do with Estia when I pray is I'll light the candle first, then I'll light the incense and do a prayer. And that's how I do it with all the gods. So for Hermes, I will light the candle, light the incense, say this prayer. Hear me, Hermes, herald of Zeus and son of Maia, having an almighty heart, the Lord of contest and guide of mortals, kind and clever, messenger of the gods, and the slayer of Argos. With your winged feet you are a friend to humans, and you are a prophet of the word to mortals. You delight in exercise, and deceit, and trickery, and you wear the sacred band. Interpreter of all, you preside over the profits of business, driving off all cares, you who hold in your hands the blameless weapon of peace. Blessed God of Corycos, bringer of good luck, with many stories, helper in business, and a friend to mortals in need, you possess the venerable and dreadful weapon of language. Hear me in my prayers, and bring a noble end of life and deeds, and graceful remembrances of reputation. So when it comes to personal prayer, once you're done with the hymn, if the hymn is what you're using, you just sit there and just speak from the heart and tell the gods what you're thankful for and what you're praying for and what you're asking for. And then you spend some time with Hermes. And then we'll move on to Zeus. And for Zeus, I light the candle and the incense, and then I pour the wine. I offer a libation to Zeus, and it has been red wine is what I traditionally like to use. Again, you can just be water, it can be grape juice, or X, Y, and Z, whatever you've read and what works for you as an offering. Or no wine, no liquid libation, possibly, water even. You can go with water. So I don't want to really say no libation, because libation is a kind of a tradition, but you can at least give water. And again, light the incense, candle, pour the libation, and say this prayer. Much honored Zeus, immortal Zeus, we bear this freeing testimony and this prayer. O King, these divine things shine through your head, the holy Mother Earth, and loud-sounding slopes of mountains, the sea, and all things, as many as the heavens array within. Cronian Zeus, holding your scepter, you send down thunder, fierce in spirit, Father of all, the first and the end of everything, Earthquaker, Increaser, Purifier, the vibration of all things, the lightning, the thunder, and the bolt, O nourishing Zeus. Hear me, the God of many forms, and give unto us faultless health, a divine peace, and glorious prosperity without blame. So once the prayers have been said, you just stand there in all honesty and sincerity and thank them. Thank the gods for what's in your life. Thank the gods that they have even given you the opportunity for prosperity, possibly. Thank them for having life and being where you are right now if you're in a good place. And also for praying maybe prosperity to get into a better place if that's where you need to be. And so we thank the gods with all your heart, and then you feel it. You really do feel it. And it's a great feeling to have. And when you feel it, you know that they hear you. And so you end it again. Once all your prayers and your time has been spent with the gods, you end it with a prayer again to Estia. You don't have to read the same prayer again, but I always like to close out with a personal prayer, just thanking and wrapping it up. And then thanking not only Estia, but the gods of Olympus. I like to say, hail and blessings, you great gods, and I truly thank you for everything. And if you see my videos, you know I like to blow a kiss to the statues and hold, while I pray, my hand on my heart. It's not just a gesture, an act, or a performance. It's sincerity. Because I mean everything I say when I pray. And I really, truly thank them. And that's the most important thing of all. And again, this is I'm hoping it's going to help you guys out. I hope it gives you some ideas. And again, if you can't do all that, don't feel bad. I always used to just have, again, when I started praying to the gods, 14 years ago was when I became quote-unquote pagan. All I had at the beginning was 2 sticks of incense that came from Walmart. You know how Walmart sells that cheap incense? Cheap in a good way, because you can afford it and it's easily accessible. Stick incense. I bought one of Walmart's little incense holders. And that was it. That's all I had. And candles. I had 2 candles, one for each side of the little incense holder. And that was good enough. And it is good enough. Because again, it's the intent and the sincerity behind what you're trying to pray for and ask for. And I'm blessed to have have the opportunity to have what I have now. But this isn't, what you see behind me is not necessity. It is a luxury if you can afford it. And like I've said before, stuff like this I've had for years and took years to have and get. But yeah, prayer from the heart, guys. I stress that in so many videos because it's so important, you know. Even if it's just a little incense from Walmart and 2 candles. I remember I thought I was cool before we end this. I'll tell you more of that story. So I thought I was so cool because I'm sure they still have it, but Walmart had a dragon incense burner with like 3 heads, and you put the cone incense on the top, and then the smoke would come out of the dragon mouse. And I'd have that on the altar because I thought that was so cool and so neat. So it is what it is. So guys, I hope this helped you out. And again, if you pray, another thing I like to do, if it's something like, again, I'm using job promotion as an example. If you know you have a job promotion that week, I like to give, don't try to if you can't, but I like to give a morning prayer incense ritual prayer every morning that leads up to the day of that promotion, job interview, whatever. And if it doesn't happen, don't get angry at the gods. More than anything, don't get angry at yourself because you feel like you either didn't do it right or they didn't hear you, because neither is correct. Again, life just happens, and there's always going to be another opportunity. You just got to keep trying and keep going. It's going to hurt, but you got to pick yourself up and try it again. Oh, man, I wish I could remember that quote. I'm starting to ramble now. It's, what is it? What do you do when you fall off? you get up and write again. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.